Good morning everyone. Today we learn about how to create this kind of simple manipulation in Photoshop with the use of some tools like this kind of manipulation and this. For that, first of all, you have to create a document size. Go to file, click on new and take your own size, whatever document you want. So I am using 2000 by 2000 with the resolution of 300 and color mode is RGB, and click on that create button. To create the manipulation, I want some photos, so I go to file and click open. So I am using this apple and that vampire teeth. Now I just move this to my document like this with the use of move tool, and this one also. Now place it properly. So I resize this apple, or you can label it. So resize the apple, Control T and resize it. So I place it in the center of the document, and now create a random selection around that, because I use the layer mask and I can reveal or hide with the use of that layer mask. So I am using the lasso tool and create a random selection around. After selection, you have to click on that button which create the layer mask. Now you have to resize this. You can use Control T to resize like this, or you can rotate it little bit like this. Control 0 is fit to screen, Control ++ is used to zoom in. Now I am using the brush tool. Right click here, use the size, and hardness is 0%. Now this is a black. You have to fill the black color here to hide the area which not required. So I am using the bracket. If I am using the open bracket, it will decrease the size, or if I am using the close bracket, it will use to increase the size of my brush. So you can increase or decrease with the use of this and erase the or hide the area which is not required. So I am using this. So I fast forwarding this video. When you are satisfied, that's okay. Now you have to select both the layers with the use of shift. First of all, you have to click here and press shift and click here, right click here and link the layer. Now Control T to resize both the layers or rotate both the layers on one time like this. So I am just increase the size of that apple a little bit bigger. Now create a new layer under the apple layer and like this, or use a brush tool with the hardness of 0% and the size doesn't matter because I want a small size of brush. And now click here, Control T and create a shadow under like this. So now your apple is looking like it is floating in the air. And you can decrease the fill little bit. So Control 0 is fit to screen. It's good. Now second one is orange. For that, first of all, you have to click these three layers and make a group of this with the use of Control G. And now this is apple, and I am just hiding this one. So again, go to file, open and use that orange and the cap, this one. Just move both the images to the document like this. Again, just increase the size of that orange a little bit bigger than that. Now create a selection around that. With the use of optical marker tool, I am just create a selection like this. Create a new layer and fill any color. With the use of Alt backspace and Control D is for deselection. Now decrease the fill value of that elliptical tool. Why? Because I want to know the edges of that cap. So Control T and resize it like this. Now when you are satisfied with your elliptical or your selection, now create a selection around that with the use of control and your mouse. Come to that thumbnail and click here. Now click on that button because I don't want to see that. Now click on this layer and create a mask around that. Now there are some mistakes here, so you can hide that with the use of brush tool like this. I am using the brush, or you can use a hard brush as well here. Now Control 0 to fit to screen and move this here, and Control T to resize it like this, or little bit rotate it. You can add anything in it. Now this manipulation is also ready, so you have to select all the layers with the use of Shift and Control G for grip and change the name. Now we are working for the last image. For that we required that birds, cloud, mountain, cup, and go to file, open, and there are my images. So like this is mountain and cup and birds and clouds. Now move that all the layers to my document. So I just select where is my document? Here it is. So on that document you have to move this one. Now first of all your cup is going to down like this. Control T, Control 0 to see all the handles and resize it like this. So I am placing it into the center. Now the second is, now I just hide that too. First of all I'm working with the clouds, mountain. So Control T and resize it like this. Now create a duplicate of this mountain with the use of Control J, Control T, and little bit resize it like this. So move it little bit down. Now Control J and Control T to move this mountain this side and decrease the size more. Now just select all the layers with the use of Shift, that mountains only, and right click here and merge the layers. Now create a layer mask around that with the use of that layer mask, and first of all you have to decrease the value of fill, then you can see easily that edges of the cup. Now you can use the brush tool, or you can use the elliptical marquee tool or anything. So I am using the brush tool for that. Click here with the use of brush. I start erasing this. When you are satisfied with your selection, I just increase the value of this one, and now you have to add the mountains and you have to add the clouds as well as the birds. So first of all, cloud, Control T to resize it and move it. One cloud is here, and Control J is for duplicate. Control T, have to move some mountains here. I have to use Control T to resize it, and Control T for this resize like this. So these are the birds. Control T to resize it, and right click here, move to the flip to the horizon side. If you want to change the color of that birds, you have just use invert. For inversion you just click Control I to invert the color of that birds. Now select all the layers. Control G is for group. You can change the name. Now our apple, orange and cup manipulation is ready. So that is a very simple manipulation. So thank you so much.